Okay, we're going live on all channels. Let's see how this goes. Are we live on Telegram yet? We are, I think. We're live. Yes, we're live on Telegram. Let's see, are we live on X? Still not live on X. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, prior to start them all. Let's try again. Try one more time. Very, very strange. Okay, let's see, are we live on PumpFun? Yeah, we're live on PumpFun, so it's only X for some reason that we're not live on at the moment. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out why that is, because I need this one, because this is the one that I use for recording. Very, very strange. What did I set up as the source? There we go. Okay, we're live. Great. Welcome, everybody. So we're here again for day 14. This is the 14th live stream. Well, not quite, because I skipped one day because I had to travel for work. But yeah, we kept a very, very consistent schedule of live streaming. Been live streaming almost every day. And yeah, I think it's been good, I guess. It's really pushed me to push features every single day, to work really hard on the product. I think it's been good to have this library that we're building up of live streams, explanations of various aspects of the project. Like if you missed the first few live streams, the first few were just really all about pitching the project. So I went through basically the same deck that I used for the pitch for PumpFun. And then I was doing product demos. So if you want some product demos, the first few live streams, maybe from day 3 on, I think, would be very good if you want to see the product in action. In our Telegram group as well, which you can get to by t.me/upscalp portal. There are little short videos in our Telegram channel as well for every aspect of the product. So yeah, I think it's been really good for outreach from that respect. I think it's really good for demonstrating that I'm working, that I'm really pushing hard with this project constantly on a constant basis. I think it's worked out really well that I get to demonstrate the bot, and also, I guess, demonstrate the speed that I can add new features to the bot too. That's probably a really, really key feature of live streaming every day, to show that, like, if you compared the product 2 weeks ago to today, it's actually been massive improvements, I think, or massive differences that you would see between the two. For example, the biggest one is probably at the speed that the signals reach your phone. Dramatically reduced the time from scan to delivery to your phone. So that's probably been the biggest, I would say, biggest improvement. And that's only in the last few days. So I'm really, really pushing hard with these. Okay, so basically today, what I'm going to do is a few things. I'm going to talk about the work I've been doing. I'm going to talk about why this is a great project to invest in, I guess, as well. I mentioned in the tweet that I'm going to talk about why it's not a zero-sum game. And I'll just go through some of the news, I suppose, that's coming. So what I'll probably do initially is I'll just dive into the Jira board. So I actually got through a ton of work today. And just through some research I was doing, I found like 4 or 5 small things I could do today that would be really effective. So I actually just did them. But let's start on the left, and we'll go through the board as it is at the minute. Let me just see if I added any new ideas today. I don't think I did. Again, just that top one was I found some new research. I'm constantly researching academic research around futures trading, industry best practice around futures trading, to try and find edges for the product. So to constantly keep improving the edge that UpScalp has. And this was a new piece of research. I actually was backed up by multiple pieces of research when I started diving into it, that showed that the spread between BTC and ETH can actually be an indicator for certain strategies, a powerful indicator to improve the accuracy of certain strategies. So that's one that I've added there. I don't think there was anything else too much new that I added. I guess this one, the rare event strategies, optimized activation. Yeah, so we do have we have 32 different strategies that detect signals within the UpScalp bot, the scanner, and there are 4 to 5 that will fire extremely rarely. They're meant to capture very, very rare moments, and for them it was just like just I found some information, some new research that showed me slight tweaks I can make to them, just very, very small tweaks to optimize their activation. So because it's kind of low priority, I haven't implemented them yet. Let's see if there was anything else there in the ideas. I don't think there was. So I'm going to jump into the to-do list. Um, yeah, so I have started talking to the Telegram group about. I think I mentioned it in one of these live streams as well, maybe 3 days ago, that I've always envisioned that this is going to be 5 products. So we have 3 at the minute. I might as well just go back while I'm talking here. We have the light product, which is free. You get 30% of the signals that the premium product gets, and you get a selection of notifications. But you've no settings, you've no customization for yourself there. Whereas the premium bot, which you need 5 million tokens of UpScalp to get access to, you get the full signal flow, you get all of these useful notifications that give you the context of the market. But you also have customizable settings that you can use. So there's a whole host of settings that you can use to set up the signals to meet your needs, basically, to customize it for what you need. And then the final product that we've been talking about since the very, very beginning is UpScalp API, which is automated execution of trades, which I've been testing since middle of January or so. So it's about, yeah, it's close to 2 months of testing that I put into that, and I'm estimating about more, maybe 6 weeks more of that. So I've talked about those 3 a lot, but say in the live stream about 3 days ago and in the Telegram group, I have been telling people that I always envision this to be 5 products. So there are 2 more products. Um, and actually 4 and 5, product 4 and product 5 integrate very closely together. Um, yeah, there's going to be a lot of interaction between the two that should be powerful, very, very powerful by combining the two of them together. And we have a premium holders group. So again, if you hold 5 million tokens of UpScalp, you get access to the premium bot, UpScalp Premium, but you also get access to another Telegram group where I give more information that the other Telegram group and X and the other socials don't get. So I'll be looking for beta testers for product 4 from the premium holders group uh, without too much delay. I'd say within the next week or two, I'll actually be ready to have beta testing of that. So that's an exciting development. And product 5 was actually in pretty good shape, the 5th product, but it's still very much phase 1. It's still very much only for me at the moment. I need to continue testing it, and especially testing how it integrates with the other UpScalp products. Sorry, with the other Up family products. Uh, yeah, really, really exciting. And then when I would have the 5 of those products, that would be the full suite of products I think done for this group of products that all interact, that all work together well. Very complementary. This suite of products. I'm looking at there was anything else there specifically. Not much else changed in that column, I don't think. Let me just have a look. Um, no, there wasn't too much change in the last day or the last 2 days from that column. For the in progress work, still working on signal delivery phase 2. So again, I made a lot of improvements to the speed that the bot can detect a signal, then process the signal and get it to you, deliver to your phone. So I do have a second phase of that work to do as well. Apart from that, yeah, I'm just going to move this one up actually because it's more important. Every once in a while, there's a lot of risk protection in UpScalp, and this was a big discussion in our Telegram group today, for example. Right from the start, the way I was building this product is it will make you gains, but also protect you from dumb risk. So that unnecessary risk is something that I really, really wanted to have as a key element of the product right from the beginning, because I'm going to actually just open a slide for my presentation while I'm at it, because I have a slide here that explains it. So let's just get the, where's the presentation? Google Slides. Yeah, I'll just open up the presentation because I have a slide that explains exactly this point. Right. So basically it's this reason. This is why I built risk protection so carefully into the product. Because I think we could probably all agree, for most people trading in crypto, it's the overwhelming nature of the information that's coming at you that can be tricky. It's so hard to judge whether something is good or not, whether it's a good opportunity or a bad opportunity. And unless you're one of the cabal who's got insider information, very often you're trying to pull together the sources of information that you do have, like access to a Telegram group or an X, or are looking at the chart, trying to look at the wallets that are buying on the chart. Um, but for most cases, that's totally overwhelming. And for some traders, they are able to build an internal system for themselves. They are able to develop the discipline to analyze how they're trading, paper trading very carefully, maybe, and working out a system and being very disciplined and sticking to that system. But genuinely, for most people, it's just not possible for us to do that, and that would be me too. So when I'm trading, it's definitely the bigger context can be hard to grasp sometimes. And then when something goes wrong, it's very difficult to do a post mortem and figure out what went wrong. So we're missing market context, risk controls, and a feedback loop. And what I said here was that you can't improve what you can't measure. So this is just to say that right from the beginning, I've had a very, very strong goal to include a lot of risk control, a lot of risk protection in UpScalp. And what I'm doing here at the moment is just periodic review of that basically. So it's been a few months since I did a review, wholesale total review of the risk gating. For people who attended earlier live streams, you would know that this was the biggest challenge that I spent time on with UpScalp. It was probably 3.5 months in total because when I started the product, um, based on the academic research I did and what I built initially, it could find really great trades and it could find really bad trades when I began out initially 5.5 months ago. And then I started to introduce the risk framing. I went too far with it, but obviously that's better than losing money all the time on bad trades. So I went too far with the risk controls. And then I had like a 3 month period of really, really carefully unwinding those controls to find a really good balance between risk and opportunity. So that it literally took 3 months. It took vast amount of data, which luckily I also built UpScalp right from the beginning that it would generate loads of data. I love data, so I'm very much a data person, and I very much make the decisions I make based on data and evidence. So it was a very, very long and careful process of getting that really good balance between risk and reward, with the risk framing, the safety gates that I have. So yeah, this is just like a periodic review of that. It's a few months since I did like a total review of it. So it's really good just to do that every once in a while and make sure that the balance is still good. In the testing, this is where the big change is since yesterday. So I'm going to have a really careful look at the testing column because this is where I made loads of progress today. So as I was saying, it's just I do like weekly research, like a weekly research run every week. I have automated scripts for it that go and find me interesting new developments in the world of futures based on academic research and industry best practice. And then I investigate what the scripts deliver me further. Like they'll give me a load of papers, a load of articles, and things like that, and then I can assess the usefulness of that information for UpScalp. So I found a load of stuff this week, and that's why the testing column is so big all of a sudden. So I think I've added like 5 items to the testing column. So this is like literally 5 small changes that I've implemented today, like since this morning. So I've had a really busy day. It's been really, really good. So the first one was the recalibration of trend following short scoring. So basically, um, through the research I did and then through careful analysis of the log data that the UpScalp product generates, I was able to see that the trend following strategies in particular needed a little bit of a tweaking just to adjust to the other changes that I made in the bot over, like say, the past 2 or 3 months. So that was really important. It was small, but it was a quite important change. The second one was massive. So this is for the scanner itself. So the scanner that finds you the signals, and it collects a load of market data while it's doing that to build the market context, which is so important to know if a signal is going to be a good signal or not. You can't just take it in itself. You have to take it in the context of the market. So I was able to do some refactoring of the way it uses the data, such that it halved the overheads for the collection of the data and the usage of data. So this is massive, and it should make the scans faster also. So that was I'm really, really happy with that. That just makes the bot much more efficient. It makes it use the compute that's available to it much more efficiently as well. So delighted with that one. That was a really big one. The other one then, let's see, short side conference scoring there. Yeah, that if you're ever interested in these, I do put like little notes here in this. Oh, I didn't end this one. Okay, I need to add a note to that one to explain it. Yeah, this is just like some of the short strategies. Again, through academic research, I found that they're more likely to be successful, to have a high win rate, if they trigger more than one of my 32 strategies, 30 plus strategies. So this was just boosting the score if a certain symbol, a certain pair triggers more than one short strategy, it's actually very, very bullish. So the data that UpScalp generates itself, when I back tested, when I went like backwards in time, testing this hypothesis against the data, it showed that this is very, very true. So that was another major win today to add that to the bot. I did add some new features around market regime detection. If you followed these live streams in the past, you would know that this is an area that I actually do a lot of work in, because again, detecting shifts in the market, detecting the micro factors of a certain style of market, like yeah, so generally like the major kind of trends are that it's a bearish market, transition, or bull, but there's in between states between them as well. So again, it was just detecting those in between states better, because for example, for dead cat bounce strategies, they're very poor in certain of these in between states, but they're extremely good in other of these in between states. So it was tweaking of this to make it more effective for the likes of our dead cat bounce strategies. Um, yeah, this is just for the API bot. Again, I noticed that it was actually not trading exceptional signals very well. It was often not trading them at all. So this was just a tweak to make sure that in almost all market conditions, an exceptional signal is exceptional. It's very rare that an exceptional signal is not a pretty good signal. So I need to make sure that the API bot is regularly trading them, even if it's a signal that appears to be against the market trend. Usually, it doesn't matter as much as for other types of quality signal, like say good or excellent. Um, yeah, this is just a very very small tweak here again for the scanner. Um, when a pair has 3 wins in a row or 3 losses in a row, they get a categorization like a label in UpScalp, which is that 3 wins in a row is hot and 3 losses in a row is cold, with other factors as well. But those are the two main factors. So this is just something I discovered again from analyzing the UpScalp logs, that symbol level cold streaks are also very powerful and very indicative of that a certain pair is going to be unsuccessful. So it's just penalizing that in the scoring system in the back end, just to make sure um, if there is a cold streak on a certain symbol, a certain pair, that it doesn't get pushed more than it should in the signals, that the scoring reflects the reality of that streak being a very bad thing for that pair. Uh, yeah, and then this is just new caching. Again, this is just speed and performance. So I was able to figure out another way to squeeze more efficiency and performance out of the bot by caching this data, the open, high, low, close value and volume market data. Yeah, so those were the main things that I did today. It was a lot of work, so I've left them in the testing column for now, but I'm pretty certain all of them are going to be productive. They're going to make significant improvements to the bots. I'm really, really happy with them. And just to talk about the big thing this week, which is in the done column, which is um, the Assure DeFi KYC. So that was a major thing for this project. We saw the value of Assure DeFi and their work earlier this week, only 3 days ago, because we saw that there was a project who had approached them for KYC called Sidex, and actually, unfortunately, there was, I think, at least one holder in the UpScalp Telegram group who had the Sidex project. UpScalp, sorry, UpScalp, Assure DeFi flagged that they had concerns about this project. They requested certain information from them. The project got very, very defensive, so Assure DeFi decided not to approve their KYC, and they literally rugged within 10 hours of that decision. So it just shows you the importance of something like Assure DeFi and their KYC process. it's incredibly thorough. Like for when I was doing it, they know everything about me now. Basically, there's no stone left unturned. They really ask for such precise data about your location, about you, about your professional life, personal life, about there was so much information that I had to give. Yeah, they know where I live, basically. So it goes to that level of detail, which is pretty amazing. And for me to be approved, then like I got approval. That's fabulous. So I really hope then when you see something like that as an upscalp holder or someone who is interested in investing in upscalp, that that would give you a lot of confidence about me and about this product. Um, that Assure were looking into me and looking into what I'm doing here, and they were happy to approve it. So delighted with that. That was the big news, really, I suppose, this week. And then just as part of the approval, there were some post-approval actions that I had to do, so they're done. Um, yeah, so that was kind of going through the board, and then I just wanted to chat about some really good discussions that were coming up in the Upscalp group. So people were asking really good questions this week, and I wanted to just kind of talk about like what makes Upscalp different from other projects, and me in particular, I guess, as a founder, as a developer, why I'm someone who's building something that's a really good product. So I talked in the Telegram group this week about how in 2021, when I first got into crypto, I was actually working in product design at the time in real life. So I was working developing products, and I built a product with some friends. It was called Peachfolio. We ran that for 3.5 years, and it had 70,000 users. So if you think Upscalp is small at the minute, it is small. But I do have that experience of growing a product to tens of thousands of users. We had 70,000 users of that Peachfolio product, which was a portfolio tracker. That's what it was. And I was telling my community, the Upscalp community, how I miss it every day because I've never found a replacement. But it had a major problem. And the major problem for Peachfolio was that really it was a bull market product. Like portfolio tracking is very much something that is important in a bull run, but gets very painful in a bear market, and especially the crypto winter that we ended up in. So really when the trading volume started to dry up and people were making losses in their bags, it's definitely less useful because people didn't want to be reminded how far down their bags were. So this was one issue. So for me, with this new product, with Upscalp, I've definitely learned from the successes and the failures of Peachfolio. So I think the main success thing that I took from Peachfolio was we built that as something that we could be proud of. We built that as a product where we put so much of our own experiences into it. We put so much of um, what we thought would be useful features into it, but we also listened to our community very closely and built features for them. So we built something that was very, very usable, that was very user friendly, and that really met the needs of our users very efficiently. It was a really, really easy to use, very efficient bot. Um, so for Upscalp, I use it every day myself. So I'm a power user, absolutely, of Upscalp. I'm using it constantly all the time, and I really want to build it as something that's enjoyable to use. Like it's a product that you feel confident using, you feel informed using, and you feel that you can be successful through using it. Then on say the downsides of Peachfolio or the negatives of it, um, I wanted to build a product that was for the actual market that's coming. So when we built Peachfolio, it was really at say it was past halfway in the bear market for sure. And when it really got moving and really grew the user base, it was moving into the end of that cycle. Really, it was about September before the massive crash. The massive crash, I think, was like January 17th, January 18th, which I'll never forget. And say Peachfolio's all-time high was the September before that. So really, we just came at the wrong time. If we had a product that came a year earlier, it probably would have been more successful. So for Upscalp, the lesson that I've learned there is I'm building one for the actual market that's coming. So we're definitely, I don't know if anyone would disagree that we're turning into a bear market now. I think we pretty much are. And Upscalp is really a product that's tuned for that. It's fundamentally built for that market. But I'm also building it with plenty of leeway so that when there are bull conditions, um, it's useful too. And it's not going to be just shorts all the time. It can find extremely good long signals too. Um, so yeah, this is really why I wanted to enter a hackathon. I guess this is not just a token. It's not just something to run for a week or two. This is something I've been building for 5 months, so it's very significant amount of time that I put into it already. And this is why I like entering into this kind of thing, and being able to display the work that I've done is really great. Like, I really enjoy it. I'm just gonna have a look. There was one other really good conversation in the Telegram group as well, and I just wanted to talk through that as well, because I think that it was really good, and we got some really good information out of it. But also the message that I wanted to kind of explain in this live stream today, just to understand it. So we were we were talking about like the bot. We were talking about like how using it, and talking about in particular why it's not a zero sum game. So yeah, so a lot of Solana in particular, like say we're saying 90 to 99% of it, is you can only win if someone else loses. That's really the way it is. You get in earlier than someone else. You get in before the chart starts going up. You hope it goes up, and then the way that you win is by using other people as exit liquidity, and that's how Solana works primarily. Um, there isn't really many other ways to make money other than that. It is like you win by taking someone else's money, and this is where UpScalp is really, really different. It's not that zero sum game, because it has a product that is not looking at that meme coin market, that DeFi market. It's for trading futures. So it's actually enabling you to make revenue for yourself, to make gains from yourself outside of what the token is. So you can still make gains from the token as we grow our user base, as the user base increases, and as the token market cap goes up. You can start selling if you want. This is your choice. So you could make money this way. But the real power of UpScalp is that by holding those 5 million tokens, you get access to the premium signals, and eventually um, whatever pricing that I set for the API bot. But eventually, if you're holding a certain amount, or if you're paying a certain amount, you get access to the API bot too for automated trading. So you don't have to make money from the token with UpScalp. You make money from the access to the product that's delivering these high quality signals that you can use in the context of the market, the full context information that it provides you with in a very user friendly format to make really good decisions. Because I was saying it in the group that sometimes the best decision is not to take a trade. So when you're looking at a certain signal and you're assessing the information that's in the signal, like the quality of it, the market context, etc., that sometimes the better decision is to not take the trade. And really, this is tying it back to what I was saying at the beginning, that the mantra of UpScalp has always been make gains but avoid dumb risk. So again, not taking the trade is sometimes the right decision. And as I was saying earlier when we were looking at that slide, that it's sometimes the emotional trading, the instinctive trading, the trading where you're just being overpowered by the amount of information, totally overwhelmed by the amount of information that's coming at you, and you're not able to make repeatable quality decisions. You're not able to follow a process, or you're not able to follow like a disciplined structure for your trading. That's what UpScalp gives you. It gives you that framework where you can say, I don't have to trade this. Here, I'm seeing this information. It's like a 50-50 trade. It's like maybe good or speculative quality in the signal, but I'm looking at the other factors, and for me, I'm deciding on my risk scale, I'm not going to take it. And that is powerful in itself for stopping you from making these emotional or instinctive decisions. So without UpScalp, maybe you just be trading randomly, completely randomly. And then your wins are random, your losses are random. So there's no pattern and no learning. So you're getting the solid signals, but also it should stop you trading the bad opportunities, the opportunities that are not really there, but you FOMO or you feel emotion and you trade it anyway. So this is absolutely, I think, the power of UpScalp, that it's not just in the token, it's in making those really good decisions that will improve you as a trader, really, I guess. So I thought there was great conversations in our Telegram group. I was really delighted that people were asking me these questions, and that we were able to have these discussions about why UpScalp really stands out, and why it's a product that can really improve your trading capabilities. So that's probably it for today. Usually, what I do is I just start cycling through the socials and see if anyone has any questions for me. So I don't think I'm going to ask you, yes. Any questions for the live stream? Let's have a look on X. Let's put a post here as well. See if we can encourage anybody to ask a question. Hi, folks. any questions about today's live stream? And I'm just going to quickly check on PumpFun while I wait and see if anyone has any questions. So no, there are no questions so far. Okay, great. So yeah, I'll just wait a few minutes. I'm going to do a little bit of work in the background probably here just to see if anyone comes with any questions. So I'll leave it open for another 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm really delighted to have this chat today. Really delighted to be able to share the updates with you, especially to share the uniqueness why UpScalp is such a unique product. And I'm delighted if you have questions, just let me know. But I'm going to hang on for just a couple of minutes more to see if anyone has any questions to ask. Someone is asking in the Telegram group to explain about the cold and hot, the cold and type of signals. So let's actually open up UpScalp to do this properly. So I'm going to start, really this is most relevant to the premium bot. So we'll look at the premium bot. So what I'm talking about here is, so here's an example of a signal. Let's try and find one that's hot or cold. Maybe let's see if we can find one. Yeah, here's an example. So here we have Litecoin. It is a short. It's this trend following short. So it's a short that's following the trend of the market. And it's good. So the quality is good. But you can see here at the top, it's got this hot. So hot for the strategy for this pair. And it's actually giving the information why. It's 6 out of 6 wins in the last 24 hours for this combination. So Litecoin plus this strategy. And in general, then this strategy itself has a 69% win rate in the last 24 hours. But you can see there, it is advising us that this is not the best time frame for the strategy. Each strategy has a time frame that it suits the best, just due to the way that the markets work. But so this would be one that you'd have to weigh up very, very carefully. You can see like this combo is a really good combo, Litecoin plus this particular strategy. It's whether you want to take the risk of it's just coming out of the worst time frame, which ends at 6 p.m. UTC. So 18 to UTC is about 25 minutes away. So you might want to take a risk on this because it is coming out of what is the worst period in the day for it. But that combination of the two hots there is really, really good. So basically what this means is this strategy has had 3 wins in a row with this pair, with a few other factors in the background too as well. Let's find a cold one for contrast. Let's see if we can find one that is cold currently. Not sure if we're going to find one, but if we can't, we can look at the watch list instead. Let's see. Oops, not sure what's going on there. Okay, if I can't find a cold signal, what we can do is look at the watch list instead. That's hot. Okay, well, it actually looks like a really good time for the bot at the minute. I must check the win rates, the 24-hour and the 72-hour win rates, because, oh yeah, it looks like the bot's performing really, really well at the minute. There aren't a lot of pairs or strategies that are cold. Great, yeah, and here's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so in the premium bot, you have this notification called the watch list, and this warns you if certain symbols are trading poorly on a particular day or trading really, really well. So you can see here we've got 3 symbols, 3 coins that are really weak at the minute. So they're very, very cold. So we got like River, Ascent, and Kite. So they're having a lot of losses. But in contrast, looks like the bot is performing really well today because we've got a lot of symbols that have had consecutive wins. So ADA, 14 wins in a row. Pretty spectacular. So this is a really good day. Not every day is this good. So if you want to get into UpScalp, this could be a really good day to try it because it's looking like it's doing really well today, folks. So yeah, it's just another factor. I personally, I'm going to show you the menu as well, just to show you how you can use this in a more automated way. So UpScalp has loads of settings. There we go. So as I was saying, you can have 3 wins in a row. That's the basic metric. It's hot. 3 losses in a row. It's cold. And if you want to automate this, if you don't even want to think about it, there is actually a setting in the premium bot for this. So you can say, I only want hot strategies or hot pairs, hot combinations. Or you can say, look, what I prefer is I don't usually switch this on, but I do say, Now, now it's clear why I couldn't find any cold signals because I blocked them all. So this is actually a really good example of me using the settings. As the person who's like testing it all the time, I should switch that off because I kind of need to see the cold signals too. Um, but yeah, I generally, as you can see just for myself, when I'm using UpScalp, I will block any signals that are cold usually because in general you don't need to see them. I would highly recommend switching that on. Uh, Great. So I hope that answered the question in the Telegram group. Just going to check back. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Going to move this back so I can read it. Let's have a look. Where was that conversation? Yes. So we have another question. Is it going to be recorded? It's recorded every day. So it's recorded on X and it's recorded on PumpFun as well. So the stream is available on both of those channels, and I always share the tweet, the X post, in our Telegram group too. So yeah, you can see the recording. So I'm going to share the recording after I finish. Um, Great, thank you very much for the question there. That was really good to talk about the hot and the cold and the types of signals. Great, I'm just going to check on PumpFun, see was there any questions. So there actually was one. Let me just see what it says here. Yeah, it says, you've got an amazing coin. What are your plans for the coin? And are you down for suggestions? Well, the UpScalp Premium Holders group will know that I absolutely am, because if I go back to the bot again, uh, I got some requests literally Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday evening, wasn't it? And I implemented them by the next morning. So I'm extremely open to suggestions, is the thing there, I would say. So basically, one of our premium holders who's using the premium UpScalp premium bot said that there was too many notifications. So then I added control here that you can choose which ones you want to see. So you can choose not to see any of these extra warnings or notifications. But personally, for me, at a minimum, I would want to see the market summary. It's only every 12 hours. And I would want to see the trend shift when the market has shifted. What this means is, say, if the market was bearish and it turns bullish, well, that might mean that your shorts are at risk. So you get a market trend shift notification in the bot that tells you that BTC has regained a certain metric on a 15-minute chart, on a 1 hour chart, whatever it is. And generally, this is a very strong indicator that the market has turned against you. If you're trading shorts and it turns bullish, then your shorts are at risk of losing you money. So you may want to review them. So for me, I would always keep that on. Then the other ones, it's really up to you. I keep all of them on. I think all of them are useful. But this is it. This is the whole thing about me taking feedback from the users, from our user base. If you have a suggestion, I'm completely open for it. As for the first part of the question, there was what are the plans for the coin? Well, it's an integral part of how you access UpScalp Premium. So as I publicize more how good the results of the bot are, this is the path to access. So we've seen from launch, like we went up to 66K. I think it was within like about 14 hours of launch. And then we've managed to hold between 20 to 30K since launch, really, for the last 2 weeks. So it's not really your typical kind of pattern on Solana, which is usually up and down, pump and dump, gone. So that shows you that the folks who are using the bot are holding their 5 million. Uh, the user base has been growing by small numbers every day because I actually track it. So I have in my own, I have an admin bot that I use to manage UpScalp when I'm on the move. So it's an admin bot in Telegram, and I can check there the growth of users, how many new users we have each day. And it's going up every day, and we've only lost 3, I think. There's only 3 people who sold, and then they lost access to UpScalp Premium as well. So that's really good going. So we're retaining something like 95% of users, which is amazing for a new product. That's pretty spectacular. I'm delighted. So yeah, that's part of the plan. Then, like, I have been talking to people in the background. I've been doing this for 5 years, over 5 years at this point. So I made an awful lot of connections, and definitely there's been some folks who've been extremely helpful with the token side of it. Like Brother One from Brother Marketing has been incredible. What a guy! Like, he's been so supportive of UpScalp right from the beginning. And there are other people that I know like that as well who are willing to support, some publicly and some in the background. So it doesn't need to have the trajectory that a typical meme coin has. Like this slow growth is so much healthier for a product like this. And as I was saying, the key thing is retaining users. Like when people buy the 5 million tokens to get access to the product, making sure that the product is so good then that they don't want to lose access. So you're building in this constantly growing user base then is the effect. So that's what I'm aiming for it. I can't really share too much else about the plans for the future because I have to respect the privacy of the folks that I'm talking to. But yeah, I'm constantly buying myself if I'm perfectly honest. Like, um, because as we say in the UpScalp Telegram group, I'm not really sure people realize how good an opportunity this is. If I could put it that way, I'm so bullish on it myself. Um, that yeah, I want to keep growing the supply that I have. To be honest, um, so yeah, quite bullish on the prospects of the token. I don't really see any issues there. It's more about growing the user base, growing the knowledge of the product in the market. So sharing it as much as we can and showing people, demonstrating, doing these live streams. Like I think this is really important. I'm going to keep doing them every single day, demonstrating the product, demonstrating the work I'm doing, demonstrating the successes. Let's actually just go back to the premium group for a minute. Go back to here. Uh, yeah, I was just about to do that. Good call. So let me just, can't see. Let's show the wins. So this is a bot that I built from the community. It shows the top wins last 24 hours. As we can see here, in the last 24 hours, the bot has detected 52 signals with a win that was bigger than 2% win. Pretty great going. And as you can see here at the top 10, I am going to add more to this. So it has been a request in the community to add like kind of more general statistics. So I am going to add them this weekend, and they will be available there in the community bot because transparency is very, very important. So I want to make it really, really transparent. This is all like I don't touch any of this data. This is all automated. So what you're seeing here has no influence from me. It's purely from the data in the backend that UpScalp collects. So I have a signal log, I have an outcome checking log, and I have a few other logs as well, and it draws from that to produce this report that I'm showing you here, that the top 10 wins in the last 24 hours. So yeah, I'm trying to make as much of this as transparent as I can without obviously giving away the intellectual property of how it works specifically. But I have no problem sharing the data because the data is really good, and the data shows how effective this product really is. Fabulous, yeah. So that's like a half answer to your question, maybe not a full answer, but I'm aiming to be able to give you the full answer this weekend at any time that you want to check it yourself, which is the power that I'm going to hand over to members of the Telegram group. They'll be able to look at the win rate of the bot at any particular time, because we did have a discussion earlier on today where someone was asking about the win rate of the bot, and the important thing to say is that it's not fixed. It changes every day. So some days it's like 95% of open positions will be in profit. Some days it goes down to 30%, but the thing then is to just keep holding until the market shifts again. So it's constantly in flux. And what I was saying to this person was, if someone is telling you that a product gets you 80% win rate all of the time every day, they're lying to you, because that is just not possible, especially when we're in a kind of market conditions that are almost unprecedented. So we're in a position now, there's been nothing like this market before. Other cycles do not really compare to the current cycle that we're in, because we've never had such an effect of the institutional holders of the major coins and the altcoins. Like this interest from institutional money has just transformed what the market is. So really, it's so unpredictable about where the future is going to go. So really, what you got to do is you gotta be working on your data. You got to be working on predicting as many potential outcomes as you possibly can. So this is why there's over 30 strategies in the UpScalp bot, because you want to tune it for many different market conditions, and in particular have it ready for market conditions that we've never seen before. So when a really unprecedented event takes place, as I was saying, that's why I have there's about 4 or 5 strategies that are tuned to really rare events, so very unusual events, just because they're events that happen like once a year, once every 2 years, even in some cases, and I have them built into the bot, so they're ready to trigger when the moment comes. So really, I think that's the better way of looking at it. It's looking at saying that something has an 80% win rate every single day is just a lie. It's just not possible. It is absolutely not possible. But instead, what I give you at UpScalp is I give you signals that show you where a good opportunity may be. And then I provide you with really quick, easy to read information that gives you the power to decide if you are willing to take the risk or not. And as I was saying, sometimes the best decision is to not take a trade. And that is the power that UpScalp gives you. It takes away the randomness of trading. It reduces the emotion and the instinctual style of trading. And it gives you cold hard facts and the platform for you to be able to make these decisions for yourself and improve yourself as a trader. Really, that's really where this was coming out of. I was inspired by some amazing traders who I know in the space and who I've learned so much from in such a short time. But the reason why they're so good is because they're doing it for 15 years, 10, 15 years. Really, nothing comes without that experience. So this is where using a tool like UpScalp can help you become a better trader because it starts to show you the things that you really need to think about that maybe you don't even know about. Um, yeah, so it gives you this information that is information that you may not even realize is actually important. And then once you know, knowledge is power. So that's where I'm coming from with this. Um, yeah, really, really delighted with these questions. Thank you very, very much for the questions. I appreciate them a lot. So I'm just going to do one more scan through the questions and see. Got a comment in the Telegram group from someone saying that they want to watch the Mighty Leeds. Fair enough. Um, I'm going to have a look on Telegram. No more questions there. On X, we're no more questions. And one check on PumpFun just to see. No, we're grand. Okay, so I'm probably going to wrap it up there because we're going. Yeah, it's almost an hour of the stream today. That's pretty good going. So I'll just say thank you very much for listening in, for tuning in, or for watching the recording. If you're going to watch the recording, feel free to ask me questions anytime. I'm available on Telegram. The Telegram portal is t.me/upscalp portal, or the X account is just at upscalp. Love to have questions. Send your questions to me, and I'll be delighted to answer them. If you send me questions, I'll probably answer them in tomorrow's live stream. So yeah, I will be live streaming again tomorrow. We're trying to do it every single day for the PumpFun Hackathon. So thanks for tuning in. Really, really appreciate that you gave your time to have a look at this, and looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thanks very much.